What's up, everybody? We are back with another installment of my series of what records I'm bringing home from the shop. As you may or may not know, I own a record shop called Too Many Records here in Portland, Oregon. We just had our 3-year anniversary. And I have a lot of good stuff that I've been kind of keeping for myself. Not a ton. I really try to limit myself. There's a lot of amazing things that come through the shop every single day. I can't take it all. I have bills to pay. I got to be responsible. That being said, I did pull some stuff from my collection I couldn't live without, and I want to show you what that is. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do so. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on any videos I put out. And without further ado, let me show you what I got. If you like any of these or are excited about them, drop a comment below. First off, I just want to show off a bunch of early and first pressings of various Funkadelic and Parliament records that I've wanted to add to my collection. This is Let's Take It to the Stage, Tales of Kid Funkadelic, Up for the Downstroke, one of the most underrated Parliament records, the Electric Spanking of War Babies, and of course the iconic Cosmic Slop. A lot of these came in the recent collection we picked up that I made that video about earlier this year that was called the best record collection we've ever picked up, and this is proof that there's just so much good stuff in there. I just couldn't live without them, and I had some represses of some of these and I put those in the shop and they all sold really quick because Funkadelic. This next artist, I don't know if I can pronounce the name. I think I'm gonna get this wrong. It is Nitin Sahani. That's probably incorrect. But this is Displacing the Priest, and this one is called Beyond Skin. This one is a little easier to find. It's an earlier release, but still not very prevalent in the States. This one is very hard to find. I don't believe it's ever had a repress, and it's considered to be a masterpiece by many people that like world music-inspired electronic albums. I mean, the album of the year, says Elle, one of the most talented artists in Britain. Some of the most sublime tracks of the decade. If you like electronic music that's kind of down-tempo with a little bit of a... I feel like some of the tracks have a little bit of a drum and bass sound. Maybe that's just on this one. I'm mixing them up. But there's a lot of like world music influence with sampling. And it's a very beautiful, lush, interesting, unique listen if you like electronic music. And I was turned on to it recently and I love it. So anything by this person I want to pick up. I don't know what pressing of this is. I got this in Japan. Maybe someone could tell by looking at the label without research being done, but this is an earlier press of this Helen Merrill record. I am not a gigantic jazz fan, and with vocal jazz, it needs to be a specific type. It needs to hit in the right way, and this record hits in the right way. This is arguably one of the best vocal jazz records ever, I think, and for me, it's one of my top 3 I've ever heard. So I had to grab this when I saw this in Japan. It sounds unbelievably good. Now, a bunch of these next records are ones that were also in that amazing collection. These are the ones that I've decided to keep instead of put out for the Record Store Day or 3-year anniversary offerings. This is a 2 LP from the 2000s of D'Angelo's Brown Sugar. If you don't know this record, this is one of the best modern R&B soul albums of all time. This is my personal favorite. I know that maybe that's a bit of a hot take. I know Voodoo is most people's favorite, but I think Brown Sugar is absolute fire front to back. This is a 2 LP. Most copies of this record, I think, were single disc. I might be wrong, but even though it's an unofficial from the era, it sounds amazing, and I don't own it yet, so here we are. This is Bebel Gilberto, which is the daughter of the great João Gilberto, one of my all-time favorite artists, Brazilian legend. His daughter happens to make some pretty damn good music too, and this is some excellent, straightforward bossa nova with a little bit of kind of like bossa tronica influence in it. It's a really, really great record, and this is an expanded edition that has a lot of remixes on it, so it's awesome. I have done a lot of research on this, more than I'm willing to admit in this video. A lot of research, like a comical amount of research. I've talked to people on Instagram, I've read through Discogs comments, forum threads, etc., and what I have learned is that even though some people think that it is possible, there is no real way to distinguish a 1997 and 1998 press of OK Computer. They are virtually indistinguishable across every single little aspect you can check, from the barcode to the labels to the whatever it may be, to the matrix. There's no real difference, and it's impossible to know which one you have. So this is either a first or second press, although both apparently use the same plates. And I love this record. It's one of my all-time favorites. I don't have a first. A few of them have come through the shop that I had deemed to be 98s, to be on the side of, trying to be a little conservative and not assume it was going to be a first. But I think this is a first press, and if not, I'm super happy with the basically equivalent 98 as well, but this is one I just couldn't not take home. This 94 German first press of Hole lived through this. This record is amazing. It's an incredible alt-rock grunge record. This German pressing sounds stellar, and I've heard a repress of this that sounded okay, so this definitely blew it out of the water. Speaking of neo soul, we have the great Erykah Badu, and this is her live record. This album is one of my favorite live performances of the genre that I've ever heard. This is also very hard to find. I don't know why they haven't done a mass repress of it. It's that good, so I had to take it home for now because no other real way to get it. I am not a huge fan of ODB in terms of his full projects. I mean, I've listened to most of his solo stuff and it's fine. There's some great tracks, there's some okay tracks. I never really felt like I needed to keep any of his full albums. And then I discovered this, the Best of ODB record, which is basically all I need from him. It has all of his major singles, some of his best tracks outside of that, as well as some of the collaborations he did. And yeah, this is it. If I want some ODB in my life, this is what I need. How about a 96 first press of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt? I was going to sell this when I saw it in the collection because I thought I owned one. I had purchased one on Discogs that was supposed to be a first press, and I got it in, I listened to it, I thought it sounded great, I put it in the shelf, I didn't think about it. So I brought my copy in to A/B test it with this one, and upon doing so, I realized I was hoodwinked. They lied. It wasn't a first press. It was a 2004 bootleg. Still sounded good, but not as good as this one. And this is an actual true first press of one of the greatest hip hop albums of the 90s. This record has not had a mass repress recently. It's very hard to find even the represses that did happen. So I had to keep it. How about this for a crazy find? This person got this for $6.95 back in the day. This is a first pressing of Soundgarden's Down on the Upside. Soundgarden doesn't have a bad record, but this is for me very easily the second spot right under Super Unknown. Down on the Upside is a masterpiece. There's so many killer tracks on here. Chris Cornell's vocals are insane, and this is a first pressing of it. I had a repress, I A/B tested them, this smokes it. I've always been a very casual Sonic Youth fan. I don't really own any of their full LPs. I have the greatest hits comp, but I was listening to this first press of Washing Machine, and I loved it. So maybe I'm having my Sonic Youth phase. Maybe this is when I get into them. I remember I was interested because there's a song on here called Little Trouble Girl that John Mulaney has a show on Netflix where he has musical guests, and he had Kim Gordon and Kim Deal together performing that song. And it was amazing. And I was like, wow, what album is that on? I was like, oh, Washing Machine. And then this came through the shop, and I was like, all right, I gotta listen to the whole album. Loved it. So maybe I'm having my Sonic Youth phase, but yeah, had to take that. This is one that I am late to the party on, but I'm really excited to own. This is KMFDM Nile, and the first presses are unobtainable. There were some represses from a few years or 10 years or so. I forget when they came out, but more modern than this record. They are also unobtainable. I think there's a repress of this that comes in like a metal box, and it has it's like 15 copies or something crazy. Anyway, you can't get this record, any pressing of it. And I heard it for the first time when it came through in this collection, and oh my God, it feels like a continuation of Nine Inch Nails' Pretty Hate Machine. It has the exact same vibes as that in terms of like the industrial itch that it scratches for me, and I loved it, so had to take it home. This one's interesting. This is a selected tracks from Usher's Confession. So this is not a full album, this is a sampler, but honestly, it kind of has all the songs you would want from Usher from this era, in my opinion. I mean, we got Throwback, Confessions Part 2, Caught Up, Take Your Hand, Follow Me, Truth Hurts, Bad Girl, That's What It's Made For, Burn, and that's it. And you know what? If I'm in the mood for Usher, those are the songs I want to hear. So I don't need the full album. I'm very content with this selected track sampler. One of the most underrated Wu-Tang side projects is No Said Date by Masta Killa. He's a member of Wu-Tang that honestly no one really talks about. No one's ever like, oh, my favorite Wu-Tang member is Masta Killa. But his debut album Away From Wu-Tang is amazing. And my buddy Van, shout out to Van if you're watching this, had tickets to go see him perform down in Corvallis, which is like an hour and a half south of here. And he brought my record and got it signed for me by Masta Killa himself. So this is cool. I couldn't not keep it, especially after it got signed. Another band I'm late to the party on. This is Congregation by Afghan Wigs. Now, we had a few Wigs records in this collection. I listened to some of them. This is the one that spoke to me the most. For some reason, front to back, this record was like really hitting the spot. And I really like Greg Dooley's other project, The Twilight Singers, so maybe I need to go and spend more time with Afghan Wigs now, but for some reason, this one, compared to other Wigs records I've heard, really just did it for me. So this is a first press, had to grab it. I've gone through phases with this band, and I feel like some sometimes I'm like, I don't need any of their records, but then other times I'm like, I kind of need all their records. And I re-listened to Eel's Beautiful Freak. This album is just a masterpiece. It's almost like a Beck record, has like kind of dreamy, interesting production, time signatures and lyrics, and it's super catchy and beautiful and interesting. Everything about it is just great. And there were a bunch of Eel's records in this collection. I think there's one right behind me. I think that's Souljacker back there. I'm looking at Shootin' Annie right there. We got a bunch of Eel stuff, but this is the one I wanted to take home. And this right here, I kind of wanted to sell this because it would have made someone freak out, but I had to keep it after I listened to it. It just sounds so good. This is a first European press of The Strokes' Is This It? One of my favorite indie rock records, without a doubt. The original cover. This mix sounds fantastic. I have a repress, I think the Vinyl Me Please, and it sounds good, but this sounds better. This sounds so good. I couldn't believe it. This is, I think, the definitive version of this record, so I had to get it. And then a few things that weren't from that collection that I've just trickled into the store over various trade-ins that I think you guys might appreciate. This is the tour exclusive of Kendrick's GNX, and the record variant is Mustard! All right, sorry, I had to do it. I love GNX. I think it's a great record. I didn't own it yet. I was like, someone's gonna trade this in eventually. Someone's gonna trade it in. And luckily, I have some people in the community who trade in records to me sometimes, who went to the Kendrick show and bought a second one just to trade it to the shop. Not knowing I didn't own it, but now I do, so shout out to them. This is a record that's never had a repress, and it absolutely slaps. And also this cover art, it reminds me of like an old school Brazilian psychedelic record. I just love everything about this. This is Winning Days by The Vines. You probably know a song or two from The Vines because they had a few huge singles back in the day, but I listened to their big record that I can't remember the name of right now. It has like the greenery on the front. Highly Evolved? I think it's called Highly Evolved. This record to me, way better. Front to back, really interesting songs. Every song feels a little different, so it's not like having that issue of like the samey kind of garage rock indie band. And yeah, this record just is amazing, and it's never had a repress, so really excited about this one. Say She She. If you don't know this album and you're a fan of soul music, this is incredible female-fronted, harmonic, modern soul that is just such a gorgeous cascade of sounds. Every single song is something that makes you want to dance, makes you want to feel. Say She She is one of those bands that's just really kind of crushing it, along with like The Sacred Souls in the line of these artists that are doing these throwback soul sounds, but with a modern twist. And this record's amazing, and the cover is all shiny, and I like that. Two records by a band that kind of passed me by, and I'm sad that they did because I love them. It's Daughter, Not to Disappear, and Daughter, If You Leave. Both of these have been traded in recently. These are kind of, I guess just like indie rock, indie folk with a little bit of an ethereal lens to it. Beautiful vocals, amazing songwriting. Like, both of these records are stellar, and I'm really excited to listen to more Daughter. I don't know how I didn't listen to them for this long. This one's really cool. Shout out to one of my regulars who brought this in as a trade. So this is Linkin Park Hybrid Theory, and I want you to do me a favor if you're that much of a nerd, which you hopefully if you're watching this channel you are. Look at that barcode and go put it into Discogs and go see what pulls up, because it's the only version that comes with that barcode. It's a gatefold, and this was basically released in, I guess it was, I forget if it was 2001 or 2005. I guess it must have been 2001 when the album came out, I think. But there was going to be a vinyl release back when the record came out, and I guess this guy, he worked at the label, and they decided last minute to scrap the release, so no stores were going to get copies of this to sell. So they had a whole run of Linkin Park Hybrid Theory that was out and then pulled. So it never actually hit shelves. I think it was just for, you know, people at the label got them. Maybe a few promos slipped out here and there for maybe stores, maybe DJs. I don't know. But it never got its first official press, I think, till 2011. So this is not different in many ways than the 2011 press, but it's the only one with this barcode. It's a cool relic of history. This was one of my first like 3 or 4 CDs I ever owned. I still love this record. And if you go on Discogs, it's pretty sought after. People are looking for this version. So the fact that he had a copy still kicking around and he traded it in, super grateful. This is one of those cool things that you can only find by owning a record store. You know what I mean? Like, this just walked in the door and I'm so grateful for it. Some say that you should be thankful for what you got. One of those people is William Devon. This record is fantastic. I didn't know it until it came through, and everyone else knew it. Ben knew it, Wags knew it, and I'm like, how have I never heard this? It was described to me as cookout soul. It's just kind of like really vibey, beautiful. I mean, there's like a little hint of gospel at times, but it's such like vibrant, mystical, beautiful soul music that's like great for a cookout or great for just like summer playing. And the single from this record is so catchy. It's just such like a breezy, relaxing, gorgeous track. And this whole record, I think, is worthy of owning and listening to. So I was really excited to find this. I think it's a 1974 press, plays great. I don't have a lot of stuff like this in my collection, so really excited about it. And the last one is a record that's eluded me for some time. Ben, one of my employees, actually traded this in, and I am grateful that he did. I'm shocked that he did, but now it's mine. This is Black Rock, which is the hip-hop side project of the Black Keys. So if you haven't heard this yet, it is not them doing bluesy garage rock. This is them literally doing a hip-hop album, and the features on it are crazy. I mean, we got Ludacris, Mos Def, RZA, Pharoah Monch, Raekwon, Q-Tip. It's crazy. Like this is a legitimately excellent hip hop record. It's never had a repress, so it's very hard to find. And yeah, I'm not a huge Black Keys fan myself, but the fact that they did this, I'm a fan of them as musicians more than I am about the Black Keys themselves. Very talented. To be able to come up with a record like this and knock it out of the park. So really excited to own this. All right, those are the albums that I have taken home from this last batch. I finally freed up my cube to eventually put more in and do another video. So thank you for watching this far. Hopefully you'll leave a comment with some of your thoughts, and I look forward to chatting with you guys in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching this video. More coming soon. Take it easy.